joining me today is a man that is 19-2 with 13 KOs. He goes by the nickname Vicious. That's Patrice Volny. Patrice, appreciate taking time to come on today, man.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation. I appreciate to be there.
Absolutely, man. Well, I gotta start off with one question for you, man. You go by the nickname Vicious, and I understand that nickname in the ring and all that, but then you look at yourself outside of the ring. You're not the most vicious guy in the world. You're obviously a very calm, cool, collected kind of guy. You seem very, very nice from what we've talked about so far, your social media. How did you get the nickname Vicious?
So the nick, I didn't choose my name, so they
Okay.
gave me the name Vicious. So because the big difference between the person I am outside of the ring and in the ring is so drastic. So
Mm.
they came with the name of Vicious. So I remember it's Manny Montreal from Canada, Montreal, who gave me that name, and that name stick around till today.
Now you gotta walk us through the mindset because having a being able to flip the switch is something that all athletes have to do to some extent, whether you be a basketball, football player, boxer. But like you said, for yourself, that's a very big mind shift. I mean, you're going from a guy that's going out there to try getting a KO, knock a guy out, to then going outside of the ring and you're this nice guy. How have you learned to balance those two different kind of sides to yourself?
It's really weird because I don't feel like I have to create that person, that vicious.
Hmm.
It just the mood change once you're in the ring. You definitely have to put yourself in training in a different mindset, more aggressive mindset. But in a fight, it automatically change. Sometimes I'm watching my fight and I'm kind of shocked. Let's say at the beginning that oh, that's actually me. It's really different. That's not what I used to or expect of me in the ring. So I see a big difference. When I started boxing, I was more thinking to be more flashy, more stylistic boxer in the ring.
Hmm.
But my first fight, boom, everything changed, and I didn't choose. I
Okay.
think the style chose me, and the acting or the way the person has chose me.
So you'd say it was like right at the gate, right when you first started fighting, they kind of you just automatically just kind of flip the switch then?
Absolutely. Since my first fight, everything that I predict or think
Yeah.
bomb, everything go out. It's a different thing. You cannot choose. But you definitely can't act like the way you want to. Let's say Chris Eubanks have a different style. Eubank Jr. has a style too. But the way I do it, it didn't choose. It just be like that. It's just
Hmm.
who I am in a
Gotcha.
way, or a side of me.
Absolutely, man. Well, I want to get to know you a little bit better so people can kind of know your story too. And so, one of those components is that being out there in Canada, you got to walk us through this because boxing, I don't believe, was your very first sport you started playing. I believe it was football, if I'm not mistaken. So, you got to walk us through that. What was it about football? Why'd you fall in love with that sport first?
So football is a family sport. I
Okay.
got a lot of actually everybody in my family played football.
Okay.
Some played for the CFL, some went pretty far in the sport. So I was following that path because I did like that community sport, family sport, a
Sure.
teamwork sport. So I fell in love with it, playing as a wide receiver, playing for a couple of years. But after a couple of time, I realized that I probably want to try something else, something different.
Mhm.
And they opened a boxing gym next to my house, probably 5 minutes walking. So I
Wow.
said, let me try. It was a free try. So I said, let me try just for fun. And I don't want to say I fall in love with it at first because I was going like 3 times a month, two times a month, and I still had my football training at the same time.
Okay.
And once I did my first fight, I think it was the first fight, everything changed. I said,
Mhm.
"Look, there's no more football for me." And nobody believed that I would quit football. And I told them, like, I'm not playing really. And they thought I was doing it for a moment and never stopped since that.
All right. So, when you were growing up, then was boxing ever on your mind? Like, maybe not even playing it, but like, was it just watching boxing? Was that ever in your life at all before you started pursuing it?
Never.
Really?
I was not even watching boxing at all. I know the big name, everybody know Muhammad
Yeah,
Ali, we
sure.
knew Mike Tyson, but I didn't know nothing about football. I was watching probably a few video accidentally, but I was more focused on watching football highlight or hits or basketball. But fighting sport was far, but really far from being my mind.
All right, so you get that, and if I'm not mistaken, it was a free trial that was offered too when you first started boxing there.
Yeah.
And so when you were just going through this process and you see, okay, well, I got a free trial, I can go to this gym and box. Why did you want to do it? Because obviously a lot of people maybe have a boxing gym close to their house, but not all people are actually going to go box. That's still, you have to have a
Yeah.
different mentality to want to go step in a ring or train, whatever the story might be. So what was it about you kind of inside you said, you know what, this is a little bit interesting to me?
So when you're playing a team sport, when somebody make a mistake or somebody don't work, you pay for it.
Yep.
So I was kind of sick of watching. I'm really a competitive person, so I was pretty mad when I see other teammates not pushing like I want.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. I should not be punished because they're not doing the work. I remember that sometimes they put me on the bench because this guy didn't do his work, but the blame was on me.
Mm-hmm.
So the blame was on me, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Boxing was not in my mind. They just opened a gym,
Yeah.
and I realized that if I do some wrong, it's all on me.
Yep.
If I do some good, it's all on me. But if you do a mistake, you paying and you paying cash and you paying now. So that
Mm-hmm.
was one of the side that I was like kind of interesting about solo sport because it was actually the first time I played a sport without a team,
Yep.
and I kind of like it. I kind of like the fact that you are the only one to blame. You cannot blame anybody in boxing. I do understand sometimes your team might make a mistake, but I don't feel like the
It's different.
coach
Yeah.
is necessarily to blame. It's more me. If they told me to do something in the ring and I didn't do it, it's on me. So I kind of love that sport. It's a big challenge for a person on my own self.
Now, growing up playing basketball, no, that kind of was my mentality too, man. I like the personal different aspect where you don't have to play the team sport. But I know that's not for everybody, though, because at the same time, it's got two sides of that. On one side, you no longer get blamed for other people, but now, like you said, the pressure's all on yourself. If you perform and you do great, all the glory goes to you, you get all the credit. But if you don't do good, it's all on yourself as well. So it does bring an added level of pressure to that. How did you deal with that? And how have you kind of developed yourself now to say, okay, you do realize that every time you step out there, it is all on yourself?
Yeah, it's all on me, and I do like that actually. I do
Yeah,
like the fact that all the pressure's on me. I think it gave me a kind of a boost knowing that everybody watching. In a team sport, if you do some bad, somebody might help you or get advantage in the solo sports, you boxing. I like the fact that if I do some wrong, there's no you cannot recover from that. You're gonna get punched
yeah.
right now, and I love it. I love that. It's incredible. But I learned fast in this sport. I learned fast watching my first actually boxing fight. Watching is other than Muhammad Ali was a Ronald Winky Wright, and the
Okay.
boxing side was amazing for me. So I try to not copy, but take big part of his boxing style to introduce to my soul. Like that, I feel like I don't necessarily like create too much opening, so I don't have that big big thing.
Yeah.
But that do drive me to stay there, take a hit, and that's I find that's the way to handle the pressure.
All right. So when did you fall in love with boxing then?
I fall in love with boxing after watching Winky Wright.
Okay.
If I'm
Gotcha.
not wrong, it was Winky Wright against Felix Trinidad.
Okay.
It was a masterclass of how he used his jab, his defense, and everything. So it's not the boxer that people expect to hear as a name. People might think Floyd or Muhammad Ali or
Sure.
Sugar Ray, but mine was Ronald Winky Wright. I find his defense was amazing, his style was amazing, and he was a boogeyman. He was
Yeah.
a boogeyman.
All right. So then you start going into the sport and you start pursuing it then. But when did you start to kind of click in your mind, say, you know what, this is going to become my lifestyle now. This isn't just something I'm going to do for fun. I want to be a professional boxer. I want to go and make this become my lifestyle. When did you make that decision?
I think that this decision was actually never really made.
Okay.
I think I started as an amateur, keep going for fun because I like it. When I turned pro, it was actually only because I love the sport of boxing. I was able to do it. I was able to bring wins. I was comfortable, and I still was in love, and still today in love with the sport. I think
Mhm.
it's more like pretty recently, like last year or a
Really?
little bit after COVID, that I'm like, okay, I'm doing great. I still love the sport. I think once you don't love or you don't like training no more, I think it's the end. But
Yeah.
I'm still, I love it. I love it. And it probably like recently, I'm like, okay, I'm there. I'm there. I'm not that far. I'm not that far, and I really can make it.
All right, so you went pro in 2016. So now you're saying your first 4, 5, 6 years of your career, you pretty much were just saying, I'm just going to do this for the fun of it. You didn't start clicking that this is what you want to pursue till just a couple years ago.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It took me a while before it was just having fun,
Hmm.
loving to fight, and I was winning, and I was winning, and I was winning. So I feel like in a way that just release pressure. I don't put pressure on my shoulder like that. In a way, I don't feel like, oh, I absolutely have to do this, or I can do nothing else. I'm able to do something else after boxing.
Hmm.
So I think it releases a lot of pressure. I don't have to put all that on my shoulder.
This kind of does jump a little bit ahead, but as you said, just in the past couple of years that you've been kind of all in on boxing now, and you are up there a little bit in age now. You're obviously not a super young guy overall. So is this still something that you want to pursue for a long time now? Whether it be 2, 3, 4, 5 years, like is this something you still see a long term future in yourself boxing?
Yeah, I do think is I can see it as a long term life, a long term
Hmm.
lifestyle until I don't love it no more, or I get
Fair
too
enough.
many losses or bad losses. I don't think I will stay in the sport if I'm not able to, let's say, give the performance that I think I should give.
Sure.
Because it's for sure I'm 35. I started boxing late 17, so almost 18. So I don't have those damage. I don't have the damage of a young fighter that probably start at 4 years old. I
Yeah.
never been hurt. I never been knocked out or nothing. So I feel very fresh, very young, and I'm still in my learning process.
Yeah.
So I think I quit the sport if I lose interest in the sport, or I just cannot give performance. I know for sure there's a lot of great boxers around,
Mm.
youngster or whatever in the sport, in the division, that will come, and I think defeat is part of the game, and you have to test yourself. If you be defeated, I mean, you probably have the fight, the tough fight that you were looking for. I'm looking for tough fight. I'm not here to stay for a wild or super long time.
Hmm.
So I do think I'm still there for a couple of years until I don't have it no more. I will lose that passion
Sure.
for the sport.
The crazy thing is you didn't go pro to in your mid 20s, 26 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
26, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty wild because a lot of guys that are boxers, they grew up. You see them when they're 2, 3, 4, 5 years old with the dads that were also boxers, kind of growing up in the sport. 26 years old is a late start for a lot of guys. How did you make up so much time? Because you 19 and 2 now, you've had an already pretty successful career overall, especially
Yeah.
considering all the boxers at a large scale. How have you been this successful when not starting boxing until 2016 at the age of 26 years old?
So so my decision to turn pro at 26 was school.
Hmm.
I had school. I cannot quit my school. I invest so much in school. So I was like, I'm not doing it now. Even if people say it's late, I feel like 18 is too early. A lot of fighters turn pro at 18. I do feel it's too early. For me, turning at 26, I feel like it was the right time. I feel comfortable. I feel like I got no rush. Nothing is rushing me to turn pro now.
Okay,
Um, I was feeling ready. I think that's the best thing. I was feeling ready. I said,
gotcha.
that's the time to go pro now. I prove what I have to prove. I didn't go to national fight or nothing like that because I could make it because school and whatever the decision or boxing politics as an amateur.
Hmm.
But I was feeling ready that okay, I did everything I was supposed to do in amateur. Let's go pro because I didn't have that Olympic dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so you go off to a great start, 15-0 start to your career in just a couple year span. You're rolling, and then the COVID pandemic ends up hitting and settling in for guys. And between October 2019 and May 2023, you only end up getting 2 fights in during that time span. Walk us through that time. I have to imagine that was pretty difficult for yourself. What were those years
Yeah.
like for you?
COVID period was pretty tough.
Hmm.
Remember I had a fight date for Germany. I was supposed to go to Germany. So the day or the week that I was supposed to take my flight,
Hmm.
uh, fight got postponed because of COVID because you cannot enter the country. So it was pretty a tough time. I was in camp nonstop. I was in camp for the full COVID, cannot
Hmm.
fight. Actually, I had one fight. So you cannot have your full team. You have a cutman. They gave you a cutman, nothing, no crowd, no nothing. It was different. I used that period of time in my advantage to gain a little bit more weight, be more strong, a strong fighter. And I had injury, broken knuckles, so Kobe kind of forced me to recover in a way. So I'm
Okay.
not gonna blame Kobe for that. But I was I was in the top 10 in three division,
Hmm.
and he slowed me down. My motivation was still high because I know for sure I could get back, and I just have to work. And I cannot be mad for something that I cannot change. But
Yeah.
COVID was it was a tough time for me, and I guess it was for every athlete. Some I
Yeah.
know did stop the sport, but when you want something, you just go with it.
And you said you were just staying in camp that entire time, just getting ready. Like you said, you do get the fight in. You end up going 1-1 during those time, that 4 year time span there. But can you just take us through? Because that has to be difficult for yourself. When you look at boxing in typical times, you get your fight date, you have 8 weeks, whatever it is to prepare, go to camp, when you're fighting. This was a lot different. This was, hey, we're at an opening coming up now. Can you fight now? Are you ready? How were you just kind of dealing with the sense of, okay, I have to stay ready, and now all of a sudden the fight's available, I'll go take it and go after it?
Yeah. So it was the mentality was that I know a lot of people are affected by the COVID. A lot of people will not train like they normally would.
Yeah.
So I probably double my training so I
Mm,
can stay active and to make sure I'm more than ready. When I come back, something changed, and people can say, "Okay, he got better." You
okay.
know, so I was training and knowing that I have opponents. I don't know if they're training. I know they will. I don't know if they will pass that COVID test.
Mm,
That was the most stressful thing, that you don't know if your opponent be there. I remember the coach didn't want to take the test. So the athlete said, I'm not coming. And I'm like,
mm,
hey, I just trained like for 2, 3 months. I got probably like three fights that got postponed. And now today, you say you don't want to take that COVID vaccine because you don't want to fight, and your coach don't want to, so you will follow the same thing. But
mhm.
after talking, he finally ended up fighting. But every fight you have, you just don't know. You just
Yeah.
don't know. It was I don't want to say a stressful situation. It's a big question mark. You just don't know what's gonna happen. You're just hoping to have a fight, because I
Mhm.
know Canada, we were not fighting it. The US is the same state, so it's easy
Yeah.
for them to just travel a little bit and fight. And
Yeah.
home, we cannot take a plane. We cannot quit the country. So you see people fight, and you're not fighting. So you're still at the same place at the beginning, and everything start keep moving without you. So it was something.
So when do you feel like things got back to normal then? Because obviously every state, every country was a little bit different. Obviously, I'm out here in America, so it's a little bit different than what you guys were dealing with in Canada. But
Yeah.
when did you feel like what year was it when you said, okay, things are getting back to normal now? We're starting to travel more easily now. We're able to kind of have more certainty in terms of sport. When did that start to feel like it was okay, kind of a more stable time zone for you guys?
Um. So what I think COVID stopped at in 2023, if I'm not wrong.
Sure. Yeah.
So I think around 23, 24, no, 23,
Okay.
everything's starting to get back to normal. It was just hard to have fight.
Okay.
It was just really hard to. have a fight. Lucky me, if I'm not wrong, in 24 I had my fight against Esquiva Falcao in 23, right?
Hmm. Yep.
So I think that was the period of everything going back to normal for Canada and everything. But people were still fighting. They were just really hard to have a fight.
Gotcha. Now let's head into your most recent fight because things kind of you build yourself back up. Things will get a little bit more normal, and then you get a great opportunity. You and Emma Williams get a headline a card, Orlando. Just that part right there. Just the fact that you get to go headline a card, be the main event. What was that like?
It was fun. It was fun. I can't ask for I can't ask for more. I
Yeah.
was really happy to. Well, the day I received that call, I said yes right away. I don't care. I don't care. So I think it's an opportunity, a big opportunity, and I think I'd be crazy to turn that down.
Hmm.
We working so hard. Every fighter working so hard for this opportunity. When they show up, if you don't take it, you're just not taking the chance, and you've been working and training all that time for no reason.
Yeah.
So I was excited. I was really happy to take the fight. I knew Amo because he came to Canada to help one of the Canadian fighter there home. So man, from to start from Canada without a promoter and to be the main event in a different country in Florida was really great.
Well, let's get into that fight because, in my opinion, it was a very, very close contested fight. You guys went back and forth, very competitive. There was one scorecard. I'm not sure what he was watching there, but the other ones were a little bit better. I think the 113, 115 was a fine scorecard. That made more sense. I think it was between a round or two between you two. As I said, I don't know what the 118, 110 scorecard was, but it's boxing. I guess we can kind of chalk it up to that part. But
Yeah.
when you go through that fight, just take us through the fight because I'm sure you've already rewatched it a time or two. You've taken notes. You've seen what you did good, what you did bad. Can you break us down kind of the fight for yourself? Like, what's your thoughts overall on your performance that night?
So on that night, I was feeling great. I think I was in control of the fight. So didn't take punch. My defense was good. Choosing the punch wisely.
Yep.
And I think let's say a mistake that I did is that I didn't think during a fight. There's a lot of things happening, so it's pretty hard to concentrate on too much thing. I
Yep.
forgot to concentrate that the fact I'm not home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not home, so I have to do way more.
Yep.
So that's one mistake I forgot during the fight. But I was feeling great. The power was great. I was able to absorb a lot of punch. Actually, the word block. Yeah, almost every punch was blocked. It touched me a few times to this boxing, so that's okay. But I
Yep.
was feeling in control. Once the first jog, when they give the scorecard, the first jog gave the 118, 110. I don't even know if I was shocked. I don't know if I was shocked. I was looking at my team and saying, if I drop him twice, I still lose. No matter what happened, it looks like I was about to lose that fight, no matter what. If you didn't watch the fight, people might think I get beat up on that fight.
Yeah.
It was a close fight.
Agree.
In my thought, I had it by 2 rounds. Let's say like a draw. I wouldn't be mad for a draw because I know it was a close fight. It was a really good fight. But the 118, that one judge, hey, that was different. Let's say.
All right, so it's frustrating as a fan just watching boxing. I feel like it's almost at least one every big card you have. There's at least one of the fights on the main card that one judge just I don't know what the heck's going on with that guy, what he's watching, and then you see two more realistic. Now sometimes there's robberies where all three judges are watching different sport. Thankfully, this was just one overall, but as a fighter, that's got to be extremely frustrating. I mean, you're looking at this and you're like, okay, I can respect the 113, 115 scorecard. I see where that could possibly happen. It was a close fight. I get it. I respect it. But you see 118, 110, and it's as if, like you said, you got your butt destroyed the entire fight, and that's not the case. How do you handle that as a fighter? Like, what just goes through your mind?
It's frustrating. It almost you almost have to put yourself in question. Did I really look that bad? Did I get beat up?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yep.
You don't know because you're in the moment, and I'm trying to be like not biased because I think it's almost impossible to not be biased for your own self. So
Yep.
I try to watch the fight and look what I did bad. So I remember right after the fight, I went to the hotel. I went to eat and everything. When it's time to sleep, I went to the hotel. The fight was already on YouTube. I probably watched it like 6 times in a row, and I'm like, I don't feel like that fight was close. The fight
Yep.
was close. A lot of people have been winning. A lot of people was saying it was a draw, but that 118, 110 is like, what? Eh, there's no way for me to win if I don't knock him out. Kid is a good fighter too.
Hmm.
So it's not easy to win by knockout all the time, you know.
Agreed.
So when I saw that, I don't want to say I was mad. So I allowed myself to be mad of 5 minutes, and after this, we turned the page. We got to go back to the gym
Fair.
and back to working because I cannot be mad for something that I cannot change. I cannot change that. The decision was made. Whatever the decision is, 118, 110, I take it. It is what it is. Back to the gym.
This is just kind of a sidetracked question though regarding the judges, but I know there's always been talks about people saying, "Hey, typically after fights, the fighters have to get interviewed, the coach is going to get interviewed, the trainer is going to get interviewed. Why don't we have the judges get interviewed? Because I would like to hear what he was watching, why he gave 118, 110. Is that something you would be in favor of as a fight? Like, would you like to be able to either you guys have a discussion with the judges, say, "Hey, what did you see that I did wrong?" or at least have them be available to the media to be able to go get interviewed and discuss why they gave the scores that they give?
I would love that.
Yeah,
Imagine you can imagine they have a little room after the fight so you can go and have a talk with them to understand exactly what they saw in the fight, you know?
yeah,
Because sometimes, so let me take as an example, Rolly Romero when he fought that I forgot his name, but it deserved a big loss. They stopped the fight. I was shocked.
hmm,
I just don't understand how they make that decision. For me, for my last fight, I just don't understand how the judge said 118, 110. So everybody in the crowd and everybody watching on TV see something else,
yep,
but you see a close fight like so far
yeah.
fight like that. It's like I did nothing, you know. So that's the only part that's frustrating. But I will. That would be amazing to be able to have a talk or something to understand how the judge scored the court. You cannot do. It's not football, so there's no challenge play, you know.
Yep,
So you have
exactly.
to obey whatever they choose and whatever they say. But I think that that'd be interesting in a learning process because some judge love more power punch, some
Yeah.
love more speed, some more love more activity or whatever. It gives you a different perception, and you probably would know what you have to do if you see this judge in the corner.
Yeah, good point. Yep. Well, I want to ask you a little bit more about Analyze himself because obviously he's another good fighter. Like you said, he's a good fighter. He's very talented, bright future ahead of him. When you talk about just facing him, what was it like being in the ring, sharing the ring with him for 12 rounds or 10 rounds? Like, what was that overall like, just being in the ring with him and experiencing his fight? What was he like as a fighter for you?
He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. The big thing I do love about Hemo is he has a big heart, and
Yeah,
I mean in two ways. He has a big cardio. He's he has a lot of cardio, but the kid want he want so he loves to fight, and I think we have in a way the same mentality that we want challenge,
yeah,
challenge, tough fight. I've been asking for tough fight. He's a tough fighter. He came from his fight against Shiraz, had another fight, and now back with me. And probably the next fight might be another tough one too, you know.
yep.
So Hemo is a good kid. He's a good kid, humble guy. We talk before the fight, we talk after the fight, and everything, you know. So there's nothing, no, nothing mad. We're not mad about it. I'm not mad because actually I'm the one who lost, you know. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm pretty cool with him, you know. But he's a good fighter. He's really dedicated to the sport, dedicated to his craft, and I love that.
Absolutely, man. Well, I got to ask you then, what's next for yourself? Because obviously, yes, you're coming off a loss. 160 is still a very open division overall. And when I look at the weight class, I think you have the champions that are kind of solidified. And the rest of it's a lot of guys just working their way up right now. It's not a lot of guys solidified and in prime time contending spots. I think Hamza Shiraz was in the mix there. Now he's moved up to 168. So he's
Yep.
out of the picture. So when you look at this, I'm sure there's a lot of options on the table for yourself. What are you looking at next? What could possibly be next for yourself?
So for me, I would love a big fight right away. I don't think I do feel like I'm in the mix and I deserve to be in those type of fight.
Yeah.
There's a lot of name, like you said, the middleweight division is getting more established now. You
Hmm.
got Johnny Bank, you got Adames. Everybody's getting the positions getting choose now. You
Yeah.
know, so I think I'm capable, and I feel like I deserve those opportunities. I will get there, that's for sure. I deserve this opportunity. I show a good fight, good competition, and there's a lot of people that I'm ready to fight anybody actually,
Okay.
anybody in the division. They just have to accept.
Yeah. So
That's
is
the
there a
point.
timeline? Do you have a timeline for yourself? Like, is there a month you want to return? Summertime, fall time? Like, when do you want to get back in the ring?
Let's say I would love to be back in the ring in summertime, and
Okay.
after this in falls. In
All right.
falls, and if I'm able to have 3 fights in the year, that'd be amazing. Because
So
I
have
don't
you?
have a promoter, so it's pretty hard. It's hard for me
Right.
to have fight like that. They don't give me fight that easy, that
Hmm.
easy. But I will fight. I always fight once or twice a year, no matter what.
So is there any discussions you've had at this point? Is there somebody you've been in discussion with, talking, or somebody that you want to fight? Is there a specific name that you're trying to target that you'd say, hey, this is the guy I would like to fight. It makes sense for me. I'm trying to get the fight made.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. The discussion that the choice was made. If we had the win against Emo, we would Lara would be a big one, a big opportunity. But I don't think Lara will. I think Lara is a little bit at the door. I think he's not gonna stay in boxing for too long. I try to hide Johnny back because I think my defensive is good. I know it's gonna be a really hard and tough fight, but
Yeah.
why not? I'm not here to just have easy fight. I want big fight, a hard fight. Then let's see where I can really position myself. But either way, I'm really ready to fight anyone. Anyone is in the ranking, so I can get their place. I take it.
All right, so then I don't know if you've heard about it yet, but there seems to be, at least what I've been hearing about, is the middleweight tournament going down. I'm not sure if it's going to be Australia, where it's going to be at right now, but so far it has guys like Zoo in it, Michael Zafar is in it, Mateo Tapia is in it, Brock Jarvis is going to be in it. It seems like it's going to be some sort of a tournament between the middleweight guys, kind of guys all in your mix that's in the top 15, a little bit out of it. Have you heard about that? And if so, is that something that you would be interested in being a part of?
I think I did heard about it. Not too deep to it. I heard a little bit about it, but
Hmm.
that's for sure something that I'd be interesting to jump in. That's a big tournament. Today they're doing a lot of tournament for youth or young people under 23, and
Yeah.
sadly I'm over 23.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, by
would
a little
love
bit.
to be. Yeah, just a little bit. So I'd be happy to be in the big tournament, a big tournament. That'd be great. I never had the chance to be in one because,
Yeah.
COVID and everything changed the world, the boxing world. And today with Riyadh season, everything kind of changed and promoters starting to get together because they know where everything's gonna
Yeah.
go. So hopefully something happened before I get to my 38 years old.
Fair enough. Definitely. So I guess what I was also asking about that middleweight tournament, then have they approached you? Have you reached out to them yet? I mean, obviously that's the thing that I think would make a lot of sense for yourself. Obviously, like I said, it's a lot of guys in that top 15 group right there. I mentioned Zoo. I mentioned Zafar is obviously a good fighter. Brock Jarvis. I mean, these are a lot of guys that I feel like the winner of that would easily establish themselves as a title contender, legitimately get a shot there. Is that something that you have approached them about? They approached you about? Like, has there been any discussions regarding that with you yet?
If if they did, they probably talked to my manager.
Makes sense.
My manager yet. I just don't know yet because I know my manager and my team, they went to their Riyadh season because we got one of my fellow friend, a fighter that's gonna go there. Wilcox.
Okay.
So he's gonna go there, and my the team is there, so they probably more focused on it at the moment. And I understand that. I understand that. So
Makes sense.
hopefully, my friend Spencer Wilcock pull out that W and bring back a belt.
Absolutely, man. Well, I also want to ask you and kind of pick your brain about the 160 division. I know we kind of touched up on it a little bit there. And as I said, I feel like right now what we're looking at is, I think in my opinion, it's time that the champions start to unify. I think we have three guys that's obviously in the mix. You got Janabek, Adames, Laura. You said like Laura's probably on his way out a little bit sooner, but obviously still at least got another fight or two in him. When you talk about if you're going to get your matchmaking brain on right now, you're going to kind of try to make the best matchup possible. What fight would you think would be the best fight to make between the champions at 160 right now?
Adam S and Johnny Beck.
Agree. Yeah.
Adam S and Johnny Beck. I think that'd be a kind of a clash of style in a way. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of volume, a lot of techniques, southpaw, and I know Adam S do switch sometime. And
Yep.
he did a big performance against Andres Uraz. Nothing to
Yeah.
take off, but I do believe he won that fight. Not there was no draw for me. It was a
Agree.
clear win for Adam S. But I think that fight against Janibek, and we did see Janibek in a probably sometime hard position, and I think he need to be tested.
Yeah.
And I don't want to
Agree.
say the guys or the fighter he fought was not good. I'm just talking about a big test. I
Agree.
consider Adam as a big test, but Janibek awkward style different. The volume was pretty high, and that'd be interesting against Janibek who loved that uppercut, and Adam
Yeah.
is doing probably putting his head down sometimes. So that can be that probably will be an amazing fight. I don't want to put Lara in the mix because I feel Lara's getting old
Yeah.
and he did slow down. It's not the Lara that we knew from the beginning. So
Agree.
let the big fight be Johnny Beck and Adamus.
I agree with that one right there, man. Well, I got a couple of questions before I let you go. One of those is asking yourself, now, like you said, obviously you want fights to be made. You have some goals in mind for yourself. But if you're going to give me an outline now, if you're going to say a timeline, let's say in the next 12 to 18 months for yourself, what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to get done? How many fights do you want to fight? Like, what's the blueprint idea? Obviously, everything's got to go perfect or whatever, but your goals for the next 12 to 18 months, what are they?
Okay, so I want to have 3 fights this year.
Okay.
3 fight be the ideal. Three
Mm-hmm.
fight, and I need to be back in the top 10. I was in the top 10 before COVID and just couldn't fight. So they took my position. I didn't lose to get out of the top 10. I need to get back in the division. I think that's the proper step to make in the more the sense that the step that make more sense to be top 10 before saying that I want to fight Johnny Beck or Adam S. I got to
Agree.
follow the
Yeah.
step, be back in the top 10 again, fight couple guy in the top 10, and whatever, fight the champion. I don't think I want to stay in the boxing for 20 years more.
Yeah.
I want to see what I worked in the sport if I belong in the. I don't want. I won't say like top boxer, A boxer, B boxer, C. I don't find it's bad to be a C or A. I just want to know,
Yeah.
what I really worked in the sport.
Absolutely, man. Well, the final question I was like wrapping up with everybody is asking about your legacy because, as you said, man, the boxing is not going to be something you want to do for 20 some years or whatever. Like, it's in the final 5, 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it is for yourself. So, when that day does come, though, you decide to put down the gloves, step away from boxing. What do you want your legacy to be?
I want people to remember me more like a humble fighter, true to himself. I don't want to change for nothing in the sport. I want to be, and I think I'm doing it today. I'm the same person that I was in the beginning.
Yeah,
Nothing changed me. My foot's to the ground. I believe hard work. I still believe in hard work and give back,
I
give
love
back.
it.
I didn't have the chance at the beginning to have let's say a fighter that could look up to and that can help me. And I think I want to do that for the young. There's a lot of fighter, give them education on something they don't know, because I know there's a lot of thing and people believe whatever they want. And I
Yeah,
think if you have somebody around you that can tell you the truth about the sport, the good side, like the bad side and everything, and make sure you stay out of trouble if you want to reach your goal. So
yeah,
that's what I really want to people to remember for. And I'm not gonna say like for world champion and what. If I get there, I get there. At this
okay.
moment, it's just me working hard and get to the gym and do my job.
Absolutely, man. Well, I love that, man. Well, Patrice, I definitely appreciate taking time to come on today, man. It was a blessing having you on here, man.
Big thank you. I appreciate for the invitation. I really love the show. So
Thank
big
you.
thank you to you. Huh? Amazing.
Absolutely appreciate you, man. You're always welcome on, man. God bless.
God bless. Much love.
As well, man. Talk to you later, man.